This is really ridiculous if you think about it, because like I've done this as a third video today, and none of these are on topic. I still need to talk about like Reddit comments while I was on Reddit and the Greek cabbie. We're gonna talk about all this shit. But let me get back to. I said the dancer story. I just wanted to, in whatever speed it was, and that was the speed I guess I wanted to do it. Shit, I should throw these in the freezer. How am I gonna use them again if they're not in the freezer? I'm gonna do that real quick. I'll be right back. Oh, my back. Oh, my back. It does get stiff from sitting down. It does get stiff. Okay, I grabbed another one because that whole last video I did no ice. So this is one where I'm going to do ice. I was supposed to swim this morning. I didn't swim. But I walked. I walked for a while. I walked for like 45 minutes. Walking's good. Once you get in the habit of walking and thinking, it's a whole nother thought process for your mind. I'm starting to get used to thinking and walking and expanding my thoughts, letting them develop, meditation, shit like that. Healthy shit. All right. We have coffee. All right, so I'm at Tribeca. That girl had moved in, and then she moved out. That month when she moved in, I made some decent money, so I solved the problem of the month again. How to survive in real estate in New York with no safety net, Shaz. And that is, I learned the way that my mind works. The last 5 or 6 years, I've learned how if I set myself a challenge and I put myself in crisis mode, like when I was young and I would like not write a term paper until the day before, I'll figure it out. Maybe not the best thing to do for stress and shit and my personal well-being. I never had any gray hair before real estate, and I started to get these little grays. It's like it's a stressful thing, but I could deal with it. But I worked up to like $10,000 in standing debt. One of these is actually a budget one. So now we're officially on 2016 tax return. So all I have to do in the stories is catch up to like 2016, 17, and then I'll be caught up to the documents. And then I have to just make sure I speak on the documents relevantly, that I covered them in the stories. But yeah, and I met Dancer Girl in 2017. So like we have plenty more documents. How many more documents do we have today? We'll do three more. I'll go to 6:30. I'll do six today. I feel I can. How many did I do yesterday? Maybe five. So we'll do marijuana rec, marijuana ID card, 5 grams, 8 joints. That's perfect because I'm talking about these parties. The 5 grams, 8 joints is at one of those parties. So then I can fucking talk about that. And then that catches me up to the girl I dated then, which was 2017, right before I met Dancer Girl. So then today has a sort of like circular, we started one way, we end up the other way, but we all fucking, it's a horseshoe shape. Of the very natural horseshoe shape was found repeatedly in nature, the natural horseshoe. And then after that we have all these other ones. Wow, we only have fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We only have 10 more after that. So maybe we'll do 5 tomorrow and then 5 Saturday or Sunday. And it just might be a little bit different scenery because I told my parents I would clear this out by Saturday. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're good. So if I do 6 today, we are on not a bad schedule. And the writing is coming along and the Eric Fromm is coming along. The only thing that fucked us up was injury. And even the injury is my final lesson to learn this year. The final lesson to learn this year, Shaz, is humility. God did not throw a rock onto your back to break your knees. How is it? God did not toss you the rock to break your knees. No. God did not toss you the rock to break your back, but to strengthen your legs. That's what it is. Some fucking kid told me that when I was young. No, we didn't, Shaz. That never happened. So we're on 2016 tax return. I feel good about this, yeah, because we have 2 more days. 2 more days of me rambling should catch up all the New York stories. Just not as fucking linear as these suggest. But also what I'm doing is I'm practicing doing a daily blog of an hour at a time. So like, I think my daily blogs are going to be an hour a piece because I don't want to fucking flood the world with too much information. But this is a processing pattern that I don't, now that I've started and I've done it literally over 100 times now. I'm going to keep at it, and we're going to keep correcting my word. Only these are ones for my life, and then the ones going forward are going to be for the plans. Running for president, starting a third political party, starting a $1 billion startup. What are my other goals? Maybe the romance one. I don't think I'm going to do a romance blog. I think that'll be, I don't know. Who's going to want to date Shaz who's so fucking transparent with his life? It's going to be weird. It's going to be interesting. You're in uncharted territory. Uncharted territory, Shaz. It's a very interesting life we're living. It's uncharted territory. The territory is uncharted. There aren't charts for your territory. I would tell you, but I can't find you on the map. You're not on the map anymore because you're uncharted. So, last we left off, Shaz was in Tribeca, trying to get rid of a girl and her cat. She claimed that Shaz owed her money for their adventures in Puerto Rico. Shaz said, bitch, please, I have money now. How much do I owe you? We spent $2,000. Here's fucking $1,500. Keep the change. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. No, I said, we're very important people to each other's lives. And thank you for the time we've had. My roommates say that your cat is one life form too many. If it wasn't the cat, we would have, because I knew she wouldn't get rid of the cat, so I gave her the option. I was like, if you just get rid of the cat, I think we can make it work. You won't get rid of the cat? All right, yeah. No, I'm sorry. But we had a good time. I was able to pay back a debt in my life, keep her in my life, so even this year. That's how I got out to California. She bought my plane ticket out here. Shaz has been on zero economy this whole year, because I wasn't really, I'm doing the audit now. Until I did an audit of what's in my head and who am I and who I want to commit to, then I'm going to put my head back into grind mode, do what I did in real estate, which is apply my mind to a task and be maniacal in my pursuit of that task. Existential, like every single month, survive or die or do what it takes in order to hit those numbers. But I was like, at the beginning of this year, I was like, I could sell anything. Some of us, like fucking the Belfort kid. It's like, we're naturally like, we're just go. We'll figure it out. But I was like, let me make sure what I should be selling. That was my question this year. I was like, I know if I put my mind to it, I could do it. I proved that in real estate. But I don't know if I want to be a fucking foot soldier for the gentrification of poor neighborhoods. I want to be a fucking another immigrant leading the fucking predators back to the colony. Just fucking, I don't know if that's the, I saw some fucking kid in East New York was like, yeah, I was born and raised East New York. I'm doing developments out there. It's great. And I was just thinking in my mind, is that a healthy pattern in society? Poor kids coming from poor neighborhoods, leading the money back to the poor neighborhood and develop. How much ownership are those people born and raised? And that's why I asked him. I was like, are we trying to like, you want to like reinvest in the community, or is this just like, are they just trying to build condos for the rich? He's like, no, they're trying to do like art spaces, this and that, and as long as there's something for the community. But when money just comes into a poor community just to have money make money, that's how you end up with rich next to poor. Poor people don't take kindly to that, and that's how you end up with some fucking funny shit coming on. That's what violence always has, a cause, inputs. People aren't just irrationally violent. You kind of fucking, I could see how it could annoy the fuck out of you. You grow up somewhere poor and then fucking rich people start coming around. You haven't benefited from any of this shit. That happens all the time in New York. The neighborhood improves and the fucking people who live there are still poor and they're still broke and nothing's there. But yeah, some fucking fancy ass kid walking down the street. I got confused as one of those fancy kids. I was in Brooklyn this last year. No, December maybe. It was around December. I visited one of my dimes, this girl that we had an on again, off again thing. I didn't spend the night. Sometimes I spend the night. Visit her, check what's up. And then like sometimes I'm like, yo, can I crash? And she's cool. Or sometimes she has a dude in her life. So for whatever reason, I was like, we weren't feeling it. I'm leaving. And walking down the street, I was just starting this process of inspecting my life. Should I do real estate? What should I do? I'm not really sure if I'm on the right path. So I think I'm very high, walking through Crown Heights maybe. Some neighborhood that's not as nice as, it wasn't Bed-Stuy. Bed-Stuy's, when I lived there, it was bad. Or it was, both my roommates got mugged, put it that way. One of them by gunpoint, the other one got pistol whipped. But yeah, Crown Heights. It's like, is the neighborhood bad? Have you heard of violent stories, or do you know anecdotally any friends who? So like anecdotally, I don't really hear that much stuff about Bed-Stuy, but Crown Heights shit pops off, and so fucking I look back at it. Why did I attract negative attention? I think I was putting out that vibe. I had like a fucking hipster bag, like a fucking satchel type shit. I had sandals on, and I was fucking just stoned, just fucking in my own head. But I'm not. I've been wondering about that because that's why like two bag Shaz walking around the streets of New York. I was wondering if, like, I guess I was just living closer to the street because I had been removed from it. This is Shaz in the village for 3 or 4 years now. So I'm going back to visit my friends in these neighborhoods. And also when I would visit my friends, I would fucking shit talk their neighborhood too. So you just notice how you're starting to project. I was starting to project that village type shit. That's when I say that things affect you regardless of your belief systems if you just stay in them long enough. No matter how proud or strong you think you are, you act like a bullshit person long enough and you'll start becoming a bullshit person. We are not our best intentions. We are our actions over time. So you can have the best intentions, but if you're acting like a wolf over time, you start becoming a wolf. If you're acting like a chicken over time, you start becoming a chicken. You start acting like a lamb over time, you start becoming a lamb. So we should practice the values that we preach so that way we don't fall out of practice and we know what we're putting out in the world, what we're feeding into. So I was feeding into a lot of predatory Manhattan real estate energy. I was starting to get that back to me in the forms of the types of communications and relationships I was getting. Like that Asian girl, the Japanese girl who was basically looking for a predatory male in her life to make her feel like shit because she got off of that shit or whatever the fuck trauma that she was fucking treating with her fetishes. And then she was I really hope that one we can rekindle the friendship because I fucking love intelligent people and love these young intelligent women. Like, we don't gotta fuck each other, but like there's just something in them, like a Catch on the Rye type thing there. And they all love the Catch on the Rye too. This one, the Japanese girl, we saw this movie at IFC Center, The Catcher in the Rye, based on what's his name, the author of that book. It was and then the director was speaking afterwards with Ira Glass from This American Life or whatever the fuck. That's what New York is like. You can catch anything, like anything in world culture. You have the experts speaking on their own art. It's Michael Moore. I was just walking home. He's fucking surrounded by people on the sidewalk. Like in New York is the type of city where in your daily commute you will be able to just stop and observe something of cultural global significance happening in your daily commute probably. Whether it's Trump driving down the street or fucking was it Michelle Obama eating at fucking the restaurant below my apartment. But yeah, the Japanese girl, she loved fucking, I guess that's what like, these money, because that was written from their perspective of money, especially New York money. So these moneyed girls who are idealistic but also cynical, feeling that the world is full of phonies. I don't think I'm a Holden Caulfield. I'm fucking too practical. I was born poor and practical. But like, I think when you remove the personal responsibility, isn't that what's fucking as good as it gets? The cynical form of masculinity, when you project your cynicism on the world, which is really just sexual frustration. As good as it gets. Jack Nicholson, he says, the girl stops him in the fucking elevator and says, "How do you write women so well?" He says, "I just think of a man, and then I remove personal responsibility." I'm going to look that up again. Of a man as good as it gets. Quote. I don't agree with this, but I see how I don't think that's toxic masculinity. I think that's insecure masculinity. Here we go. But that's what it is. Like, trying to be a better man is trying to learn about these pitfalls.
You usually move through here so quickly, and I just have so many questions I want to ask you. You have no idea what your work means to me.
What does it mean to you?
That somebody out there knows what it's like to be in here.
Oh, God, this is like a nightmare.
Oh, come on, just a couple of questions. How hard is that?
take away reason and accountability.
That is so fucking cool. But that's that biting fucking cynicism that you can have in life. Reason and accountability. That's what I recognize in these young girls. Is that they're all emotional impulse. And the lack of accountability is the fact that they're princesses. That's what fucking my little heroine friend is in her little jewel box overlooking Central Park. She fucking just overdosed on fentanyl recently. It's like, what the fuck are you? I'm supposed to not talk to her. I don't know. She emailed me. She asked me, what would you do if I fucking kill myself? I was like, I'd fucking ignore you for like at least a decade. It's like, I'm not going to feed into that bullshit. I'm not trying to fucking save people. I've outgrown that shit. That's the ego and stuff. I think depression is a form of ego. It's like, don't fucking, you're not going to get pity from me. You got family. I know your family. I know where you come from. You got people that love you. I'm here to try to help you as a partner, as a friend, whatever. If maybe we have a relationship in the future. But like, I'm not here to fucking save you. I'm trying to save myself. I'm trying to figure out myself. I'm looking for partners. I'm not looking for projects. I can't. And that's why when I fucking, before I did drugs with her, she was like, you good? Because we never did psychedelics together. And we were doing a couple tabs of acid, we were doing what Hunter claims to do. We were doing I had a couple wild weekends with her where we were like walking around her apartment, just fucking walking through the universe. Fucking naked one time with that chicken head on. I got that picture. All of that shit but she was my little psychonaut co-partner. That's why I didn't even fuck this girl. We like, once you connect on that other level, it's like, we could find anyone to fuck, but I found someone to take drugs with. But I was like, all right, I'm going to try this fucking heroin. You want to introduce a heroin habit into your life. Shaz got you. I'm going to do it with you, and I'm going to not do it. So that way, if you ever got cut up, and I know how egotistical you are, that you think you're as fucking cool as me, then just look at me. I didn't get caught up, so that was my plan anyways. And this is how arrogant I know she is I did this with Addie's boyfriend. He was talking about fucking strength and martial arts, and he was broing out with me. And he was like, yeah, we do this thing, and like fucking whatever Jimmy goes to, he's like, we hold our arms out, blah, blah, blah. Fucking the first time I met Addie's boyfriend earlier this year. And I was like, oh yeah, fucking, let's do it. He was like, oh, well, but he was just trying to talk to me about it. I was like, no, let's do it. And then I was like, because that's what it is. Don't just speak your philosophy, live it. We're talking about fucking blah, blah, blah. It's like, I go to the gym, I try to get stronger, but like, I was in the military, I know this shit. Stress tests, that's what we do. I know fucking the different forms of physical pain. And some of them are strength and some of them are endurance. And I know that fucking the endurance shit is a bitch. It's a mental shit. So he puts his arms up because he was basically peacocking his male energy out. And he's wondering about me and Addie. I know all these dudes are fucking insecure in the back of their mind. Any dude who fucking is dating a girl and then he's meeting the girl's friends, supposed platonic male friends, they always look at me suspiciously. You fucking my girl? What's really going on here? I used to be like that. Suspect male and female friendship. It can't be. There's no such thing. Addie's other boyfriend gave me that shit before he fucking threw my ass in jail. She was like, this is my friend from California. No, we're just friends. He's just looking at me. And I'm just thinking like, I know this guy has a gun in this apartment and I don't like the way he's looking at me. So I didn't fucking say shit. I was just looking at him. I started smoking a cigarette. I was like, this motherfucker right here fucking he's hating my guts. His eyes are burning a hole through me. I'm just fucking waiting, and then he's just like, I'm gonna be back half hour, take you home. And he fucking leaves, calls the cops, gets our asses thrown in jail. What a fucking bitch move that is. Don't speak ill of the dead, Shaz. He is no longer with us. I gotta tone down my negative energy. So yeah, Eddie's boyfriend's like that. She's like, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, let's do it. Come on, man. Come on. And then we do that, and we're like, and then finally, he gave up. I got him at 7.5 minutes. I want to get up to 10 minutes. This is a bitch, though. 10 minutes is a bitch. Keep your arm up. You can't do that. You got to be that. You got to be straight. Boom. Let's see if I could do it. Let's see if I could do 5 minutes. I'll try to talk and do 5 minutes. Right now it's 1940. I should do this. I should do this in my videos. And then that way I'll be able to... This is how I'm going to build up to 10 minutes, actually. I'll be good. That's a good idea. I'll do 5 minutes at the beginning of the videos, and I'll build myself up to 10 minutes. I won't be able to do this because it's going to interfere with the fucking thinking, because it absorbs your thoughts. I won't be able to think as free flow. Like, it starts to fucking hurt. So the fucking little jewel box girl, I forgot where this tangent started. That accountability. Oh yeah, it's the Japanese girl, the fucking Catcher in the Rye, and I was wondering about this. These females who grow up entitled, but seeking experience. The parents provided them comfort and luxury, but now they're seeking the street smart. So they listen to hip hop. They try the drugs, like the Asian girl. They try the BDSM. They're looking for other paths of wisdom because their life they know is too sheltered, and I think instinctually, subconsciously, they know they're being set up for a fall or for some manipulation, so they're trying to round out their experience. Because that's what happens when your comfort is just as much debilitating as anything else. You need to have a little bit of struggle, a little bit of comfort. It's like a cliche, the trust fund kid who had it given to him, so he was born on third base thinking he hit a triple. George Bush Jr. syndrome. The struggle is what I thought about this over and over again when I was in real estate, when I was at my lowest, when I was sitting there shivering on the fucking hardwood floor of my bedroom, and my roommates don't know that I don't have furniture because I barely have enough money to get me through the week. But if I close this one deal, I could keep the wheel running. And I'm just like, purify myself through hard work. I went the other paths. I did the Occupy Wall Street. I did that in fucking Puerto Rico. I showed up in Puerto Rico with nothing in my pocket, just went door to door on the businesses until people, at one point someone handed me a machete and said, clear this field. Fucking use a machete until your hands blister. Just bust your ass. Just let people know. And people would tell me, they're like, hey, yo, the Mexican's a hard worker. The dudes at the first job I got, they told the boss, they're like, he's a hard worker. Fucking keep this one. Because if they don't like you, you're out. It's a small community, small island. Your reputation is found out quick. It's like I keep my head down, don't try to start shit, but try not to get pushed around, and I just bust my ass. And try to be fucking, yeah, and flirt with the fucking girls. I mess with one or two local girls, mostly the tourist. I wasn't stupid either. The tripwires that cause blood feuds. So I was talking about the jewel box girl. So like I did that with fucking Addie's boyfriend, and I beat him. That's the only person I beat. And then I did that with two female friends I have, and both of them we had to call it draw. Admitted, I was in my homeless state, so I was weaker. I was like the beginning of these podcasts. I was like emaciated, but still, I thought like the fucking jewel box girl is like maybe 90 pounds soaking wet. She's tiny, and that's why I brought it up. We were doing drugs. We're both doing it. She's doing that, and I'm doing it. And I'm just like, this bitch is not gonna quit. And I just see her, and she's smiling. She's like, she's fucking maniacal, little baby psycho clown. I'm just like, so I have to actually. Did I beat her? No, I beat her. I beat her, but I beat her psychologically. And then Shah's the one who I had to fucking call the truce. So that's cool. Yeah, no, I have to. I'll email her back. I'll ask her if I beat her. I think I beat her. She'll be honest with me. But yeah, psychologically, with her, I was like, and that's just experience. The devil is the devil, not for fucking being evil, but for being old. Like I was just like, I started to fucking see that she was actually gonna try to beat me, and it was like over 5 minutes now, and that shit starts to hurt. And so I started to be like, I could do this all day. The thing about this is, I just started talking, and I said something to fucking get her to quit. But Shah knows me too well. And Shah ain't the fucking most physical person. She does some working out. But like Shah's ego that showed me that Shah's ego is through the roof. Because when I stayed at with Shah earlier this year for like a week on my homeless tour, I was talking to her about the fucking jewel box girl and telling her how this little girl almost beat me at the arm thing. And then Shah was like, let's do it. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so I'm like, Shah, you don't want me to fucking kick your ass. And so we're both doing it. And we're both fucking shaking. And we're getting up to like 7 minutes. I haven't been able to do 10 yet. And we're just like, and then I'm looking at Shaw, and I'm like, I'm trying to talk her out of it. And I'm like, all right, Shaw, look, we're both going to fuck up our shoulders. This is going to be fucking like damage. I was just like, and so I had to Shaw's like, no, I'm going to fucking beat you. I'm going to fucking beat you. I'm like, you fucking, that's that old relationship shit going on. Like, she's like, that's sometimes with your exes. You could be friends, but there'll always be a little competitiveness, like checking in with each other. Like, you dating anyone? I'm dating someone. What's going on? Like the first person to marry or something. The first person to start dating afterwards. When I was in New York and I was starting to license her and get her to help me, I brought her back from Portland, or like she was coming back from Portland, but I was like, get into real estate. Fucking, it's a good skill to have. You don't gotta stay in it forever, but like I could use the help, and fucking we could work on our friendship. Like she had done enough shit in Portland where like she'd had her adventures. We both felt like we could start interacting again. But even then, when I started thinking about dating the model girl, she was like starting to get a little bit like, because I was, whoever's the first one to move on is kind of like sensitive. Shit, and Addie's in California. Fucking A. We're probably gonna like hang out. That'll be nice. I could fucking get some weed for my back. That'll be cool. I want to take her to Slab City. She would love Slab City. She plays music. I take her on a Friday night. They have or I think it's Saturday. They have an open mic. A huge fucking stadium. Not a stadium. A huge stage with a bunch of couches and benches from old buses. It's just something out of a fucking apocalyptic fucking utopia. It's a whole nother. I thought it was gonna be something like a couple fucking junkies and a hippie old couple. It's a fucking city. It's a scene. It's a fucking the West Village of fucking anarchism. It's ridiculous. I don't know if that shit's gonna survive or that shit's gonna get shut down. Well, like, it's my favorite place on earth right now. Nah, it's not. But it's interesting. It's something. It's a unique fucking experiment in society right now. And there's a really cool mixture of fucking cool energies every time I go there. I've only been there a couple times. So it was exactly what I needed right now. A fucking alternative fucking society. It's a refuge. In times of authoritarianism, you find refuges of anarchy popping up where people are just trying to catch their breath, breathe, and remember what it feels like to not be fucking told what to do every time and see a billboard and a fucking advertisement what to wear and what dick pill to use and fucking who you need to work for and what things to think of and worry about and say and what to be ashamed about your masculinity or about your race or who to hate, fucking the Democrats or the Republicans or what you should fucking be afraid of. And then you fucking, it's like Bill Hicks would say, and then you look out the window and you just hear crickets. And like the world is fine. And like you get out there and like what's your centering in the desert? You look up and you just see the stars. Just you're just washed in starlight. That's fucking. Anyways, 27 minutes. This is good. I have to finish this fucking narrative. So I'm in Tribeca. Why didn't I like that fucking lawyer guy? So we get rid of fucking homegirl filet mignon, which is cool. And then I run into her earlier this year, but that's this year's stories. We're not talking about that. She got my ticket out here. Gigolo Shaz. Fucking when I started hitting all the branches on my way down out of civilization again, out of society, basically ejected myself back into outer space so I could take a look at this whole fucking world we've made without any of the fucking trappings of fucking real estate or village or all the other fucking identity. Where you live so much becomes a part of your identity and who you fuck and everything. And it's an addiction. I didn't let that go willingly. That's why I just stopped working. But then I fucking Shaz got hit by everyone. Fucking court, eviction, boom, boom. Fucking sleeping on the street. Fucking sleeping on the landing within my building, sneaking on my roof. It's like I was holding on to that shit. I kept going back to my apartment for a reason. I didn't want to let it go. I was like the monkey, like Dave Chappelle says. God bless his heart. Fucking simple dude. The monkey puts his hand in the trap and grabs the salt and he won't let go of the salt and he gets stuck there. And that's how you catch him. He won't let go of the salt. We got that monkey in our head. But luckily I got this other part of my head which is just stubborn as fuck. And when I put my mind to something, the same thing with the salt. I was like, I am not working anymore. And I'm just going to fucking take all the consequences on my chin. And that's what I did. So like, they dragged me. That's why I have the recording, I guess. The marshal came to kick me out and evict me on my apartment. I was fucking giving him attitude the whole way out. I was fucking picking a fight with the marshal. He's a big ass fucking dude, like 6'4". I was like, they feed you well, don't they? You're a big dude. All that food. I don't know what I was doing. Some like him, he wasn't getting paid enough to fucking I don't know. He didn't want that smoke. He didn't want the smoke. You hear him. I tried to be a tough guy when he came in though. He's like, all right, get out. You don't answer the door, you get out. I told my landlady, I was like, oh, you come to talk to me, have you? Shaz being a smartass until the very end. I fucking smile in the face of adversity. Some of us fucking, that's all you can do is grin at your fate. What are you gonna do? You could take everything from me, including my life. You ain't gonna take my smile. I was born with it and I'll die with it. What the fuck? What Che Guevara say? Shoot, you only kill a man. Fuck, I'm not a man. I am the joy which embodies this man. And it goes back to doing what it was doing before I was born. I go back to doing what I was doing. This is my fruiting body, my expression, and death is my second birth. What the fuck are you gonna do? Kick me out of the party early, I'll take the party with me. It's fucking, I am interesting. What are you? You're fucking boring with like a lack of creativity and intelligence if you fucking resort to violence. What type of world do we live in? Where the most violent and least creative among us are the ones who climb our power hierarchies. We could create better games for ourselves, more interesting things to do, and just fucking shit and piss on each other with these fucking imitation cultures like imitation crab. It gives you the shits. You ever eat imitation crab? It's fucking terrible for your digestive system. Imitation cultures. Fucking Black Panther movie. The fuck you gonna fucking invent a narrative about Africa when we got the Belgian Congo? More people died in the Belgian Congo, almost twice as much as in the Holocaust. You're gonna invent a fucking fake story of Wakanda. That's what gets in the way of you fucking people knowing their own history. You know why I got kicked off of YouTube, Shaz? You know why. Because I was uploading Pedro Infante videos. And Pedro Infante supposedly was scared out of the film industry because he represented strong Mexican masculine values. Or whatever the fuck, or maybe he fucked some fucking gangster's girlfriend, who knows why. But Pedro Infante movies have awesome values about society, about love, like what they say, the Mexican values, loving your mother, being faithful to women, being a strong man, being a hard worker. Just all these strong, like old-fashioned values. And he was a playboy a little bit, but fucking, it was just like, it was this joy of life. Like, drink hard, play hard, sing hard, but like, family's important. All these, one of the La Vida No Vale Nada, he goes back and talks to his dad and his mom and tries to reconcile the family issues. The whole time he's avoiding his family issues, and he goes back and finally deals with it. Goes back to the source of his pain and his frustration. And I was uploading these videos, and that's why I got kicked off of YouTube. Because those narratives are owned. All of our culture is owned. Our art is owned. We're not allowed to express ourselves unless there's a price tag on it or there's a fucking number on it. What fuck type of world is that? It's fucking... Shaz, slow your roll and walk your way from there to here in 25 minutes. That she says that she totally forgot all the Sublime that they play out here in California. California has a different energy. You can go out to New York, you hear a lot of hip hop, a lot of shit, a lot of reggaeton, stuff like that. Out here you hear a lot of like fucking, Sublime, fucking, what else? Yeah, when you pull up in Cali, Southern California, stoplights and stuff like that, there's a distinctive vibe and a feeling. These kids are fresh out here. They're sharp. New York sharp, like Southern California sharp's a different type. Like it's laid back sharp. New York's got the hustle, but like Cali got that swag, like that cool swag. New York's got that fucking like uptight swag, cause your shoulder to shoulder, you gotta fucking, everyone's gotta push. But Cali, we're just chilling, yo. Like even when people fucking get heated out here, they're like, I'm not really trying to fucking tell you, but like, yo, I'm telling you, like, this is fucking dude, like I recorded that conversation at Union Square. He's like, yo, you got to get out of here, man. Your ticket's not working, man. You got to buy another ticket. You got to, but he's not being aggressive. He's just like laid back, like, yo, but I'm trying to tell you, man, you got to get out of here. And New York is like, everything's a step away from a fight. It's like, what fucking, what's a New York time that I got in a confrontation? That was in one of those hostels. That dude was fucking carrying that gun. I didn't see the gun, but he was talking to everyone about the gun, and the Irish guy was like, he was starting to sleep with the knife. The dude was sleeping on the gun. I was like, this shit's fucking escalating. Like, I know how this shit goes. Neither of these dudes is gonna back down, and no one's keeping the peace, and we ain't got no household authority. And fucking these two hotheads are gonna fucking, and it's not gonna be the Puerto Rican guy, because he's fucking, that's why he's got the gun, because he's the most scared. It's gonna be the Irish kid's gonna do something stupid, because he's a proud fucking refugee or some shit. I don't know what the fuck his story is, but he's got like rage in his heart. I could just sense it. He's a nice kid, but he's seen some shit, or he knows. Yeah, I could just tell when someone's a little bit loose. That kid was like, the Puerto Rican was fronting, and the fucking Irish kid was loose. And so that's why I was trying to calm down the Puerto Rican. I was like, yo, dude, he's a good kid. Fucking chill out. Like, just don't, like, just respect people's boundaries. And but like, I heard the Puerto Rican had like, his mojo was off. He was talking shit about the landlady, talking about like, I ain't gonna pay rent. There's a lot of people. That's another reason I was leaving. A lot of people are talking about not paying rent. And I was like, fuck, I don't want to be a part of this house no more. Fucking, it's just, you see how people take advantage. It's just like, she's giving us a place to stay. Yeah, it's illegal and there's a bunch of fucking beds when there shouldn't be. But like, how many places can you just pay $25 a night? Like, come on, like, don't fuck up a good thing. You're gonna fuck it, but like, once one person stops paying, 3 people, 5 people, daring her to evict them. That's why next time I caught her place, when I was in between places, she had that big dude there. And I told her, I messaged her, I was like, this is exactly what you needed. You needed someone to throw down the law because you're getting taken advantage of last time. Because she's smart. She ain't stupid. She's street smart. That's how she got the big brawly dude in there. She knows how shit goes, but I was trying to give her a heads up from the inside, like, we got some bad energy here. And so next time I was there, she had an enforcer, and he fucking, that's what it is. You don't let the shit get to that point. As soon as someone broke the rules, no drinking, no smoking in the place, you fucking physically got removed. But so back then, that's that New York. That's how New York people step to you. He was like, yeah, I heard him talking shit about the landlady, and that's my homegirl. That's my Russian godmother. So he's like, I ain't gonna pay her rent, blah blah blah. And I was like, yo, you need to chill with that energy, dude. He was like, what? He tried to give me that attitude, that New York attitude. Like fucking, like basically like, I dare you to fucking, like what? And all he's doing is buying himself time to think because he didn't know what the fuck to say. And I was like, I'm just putting you on notice, dude. And he didn't know what to say about that because I just came up with it. And he was like, what? And I was like, I'm just putting it because I didn't want to fucking, I don't want to fucking like antagonize him. But he's running his mouth telling other people he's gonna stop paying. So it's like, that's just gonna engender more people he's basically like organizing a strike over rent. And I just see where this is going. And I'm just like, I told him, I don't like this energy, dude. Fucking, she's a sweet lady and she's doing us a solid in the bigger scheme of things. I don't feel entitled. But I didn't say all that shit. I said, because you don't got to talk that much. Like with a woman too, you don't got to explain shit a million different ways. It's like, we don't need that type of energy, dude. And then when he fucking questioned me, what do you mean? I was just like, I'm just putting you on notice. And he's like, you put me on notice. I just fucking walked away. That's all. I said what I had to say. I wasn't trying to fucking be aggressive, but I was just like saying my piece. He was running his mouth. I live here too. So whoever he was talking to, I was letting them know that I don't agree with this dude. We all know each other. So it's basically like his energy might be that way, but I'm not like that. So like now we have fucking different energy in the house. And so he follows me outside. He's like, you put me on notice? You put me on notice? I'm putting your ass on notice. I just walked away. I was like, you fucking lost, dude. You don't even know. I don't even know what I meant. I just fucking like, I was basically like pushing back a little bit. But I wasn't fucking threatening him. He wasn't going to come after me. He had enough things to deal with. You're not going to fight the world. He was already doing the wrong moves. He was escalating a knife fight to a fucking gun confrontation. No, he was scared that fucking Irish kid was going to come after him. So he started spreading the word just to make sure that kid didn't bust into his room. That's all. And that kid wasn't going to do anything either. But that kid was an immigrant. And you got to understand the different fucking levels of escalation. Is like, the kid had nothing. Like, you could be the toughest dude in New York, but an immigrant coming from nothing, who's seen some shit at their home country probably, has a different type of escalation. You have to know who you're dealing with. Some people, you think that you have a conversation before violence, but some of these people, for them, like that kid when I was in middle school, the black kid tried to bully the fucking Spanish, I think it was Mexican maybe, or no, maybe it was from a country we didn't recognize, so we all thought it was funny. But we all thought he was just a dorky immigrant. But as soon as the black kid tried to bully him, he fucking hit him in the face. And then they were best friends. The black kid would tell that story all the time. He was like, he'd come up to him, put his arm around him. He was like, this guy right here, dude, he fucking hit me, fucking. He loved that shit. Because it's like, this kid came from, I always say, like, the person from the most violent, the more crazy background, and just, it's like, Khabib in Dagestan. It's just you, tough environments harden you. I started a story in Brooklyn. That's what I was saying. Like, I was fucking walking through Brooklyn after all that West Village energy on me. After growing up in what I've grown up, which is like an estuary between poor and rich, where everything mingles. And like, that's where the poor goes to the rich to get it. And then the rich comes to the poor to get it, the drugs and shit. And I lived in the poor where the drugs were. And I had the rich come to fucking my apartment, the one above me, to buy it. And I had to fucking scare them away from that shit. But we were friends with the ones above us. We weren't trying to fucking blow up their spot. But it's just the girl who was buying it was fucking tempting a friend of mine with it. And that's when I was like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking cockroach. But yeah, I was in Brooklyn, walking back from my friend's apartment. And these kids, they call out, they're like, yo. And I look over, and I see fucking the kid driver, and then someone in the passenger seat, and at least one or two people in the back seat. Fucking, so there's just a car full of heads looking at me. And fucking, I'm stoned as fuck. I was looking up at the buildings. It's just like, you can't even look like more of a tourist. Just like, walking through some parts of Brooklyn with my fucking like knapsack, fucking fancy little bag, and my sandals and shit. Looking like straight out of the West Village. Like, yo. I look over, and they're like, what the fuck you looking at, yo? And I was just, it's like that whole like, you just caught my attention. I was just like, I don't like this vibe, dude. It's fucking car full of dudes fucking with me. So I was just like, and I took a left on a one-way street. So it's like the next corner, they couldn't fucking follow me. I took a left, and the subway was within a block, and I was like, I'm going home. I'm going home and thinking about what I did. Why did I attract that energy? Usually the Shaz don't attract energy like that. Usually I fucking walk and just not noticed. I just blend in. I was like, what the I don't know. I still think about that. The sandals, me just looking around. Maybe those guys, it's just, when I was young, sometimes you fuck with people. We would just fucking, when we were young, we didn't beat up anyone. But we drove by a gay bar and mooned it and shit. We thought that was funny because we're all fucking a bunch of fucking homophobic, repressed sexual teenagers, and it was cooler in culture back then to call each other gay and shit. When people try to defend that culture, like I used to at first, like, oh yeah, gay was a term we grew up with. I haven't used it in a while, so it falls out of fashion. It's not that big of a deal. If you think about keeping the term gay, because we grew up calling each other gay like stupid, but then what we would do is just like always make fun of like the concept of gay. It's probably better to let that shit go. I remember being a teenager, 18, driving by gay bars, mooning them and yelling and shit. It wasn't jumping people, but like the people who used to lynch black people in the South have kids, and now the kids don't lynch black people in the South, but this shit goes little by little. It doesn't just happen overnight. So like, it's still in the culture of like, that's just human culture. Let's fuck with someone. It's not the best thing to keep. We want to be increasing the brotherhood of man and compassion. So I get it. I get these kids are like, just maybe driving deep in a car, looking at people for people to fuck with. It doesn't mean that they're trying to shoot people or jump people or whatever. But I'm not trying to figure out how much they want to fuck with me. I just, hey, and I looked over and they're like, why the fuck you looking over here? I was just like, I don't want that fucking energy. Fucking pack full of cars, just a bunch of eyes looking at me. I'm just like, usually fucking people don't pay attention to the Shaz. What the fuck am I doing attracting that? It's interesting. Yeah, usually I'm just left the fuck alone. That's when I lived in Bed-Stuy back in the day. I would walk around everywhere. Just even this year. Because I was at the beginning of the year. And then like, by the time I made it to the streets, even that fucking street kid who tried to fuck with me, I just kind of looked at him like I would like a dog who barks at me from a fence. You're a fucking dog, dude. No. That's not, you don't want my energy. That's what, I think you live a certain way, and then like, I think people respect you. Or hopefully, that's the idea, is that life organizes itself according to energy and patterns, and there's just certain people that like, you put like a certain vibe out there. It's like, trying to be humble and calm and mind my own shit. Why would someone try to fight like Brock Lesnar, I think. At a bar, there's a story that fucking some podcaster, which we will not mention, saying he's up there hunting in the north, and they fucking, for some reason they're picking on him. Sometimes when you're big, people pick on you. He just looks at the dude. He's like, you don't want this, brother. I don't know what you're thinking, but you don't want this. That's what it is. It's like people who are very confident don't have to be fucking angry. But then I'm trying to figure out this year, where does the anger, where the emotions come from? All these projections. How to de-escalate. Because these are great spirits. I really like large spirits. I like the fucking, my little druggy friend who fucking wanted to beat me in the arm game. How I made my truce with Shaw is that I turned sideways, grabbed her arm, and then we both lowered at the same time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have fucking lowered. Let me walk. It's weird because as I get closer to fucking the present, I start talking about present stories. Let me walk from that Tribeca apartment. So I've sent fucking filet mignon packing. I said that 50 times. And then the lawyer kid. I was going to talk about the lawyer Jewish kid. And so the British girl. She says she's going to have an adventure with me. She wants to meet up for a vacation. She has some douchebag who was trying to date her that she wasn't feeling. She kind of missed me. I was like, let's go meet up in Puerto Rico. You'd really like it. You like kayaking. You like all that adventure shit. Shit, I don't think we went kayaking when we were there. Maybe we did. And I got a scooter, threw on the back of my scooter for sure. And then what else? Fucking oh yeah, so this is an important business lesson. I'm trying to close this deal. Really nice. I'm doing the roommate matching. I'm starting to do the roommate matching. And it's like a nice $4,500 commission. And I paid, this is one of the first family vacations I'm doing. So I closed out that month well, paid back filet mignon, went to IKEA, bought a whole fucking bedroom full of furniture, never did that before, bought a writing desk in the corner. So many times in my life I said, this is the time. Shaz is becoming the writer now. But what I've learned in real estate is bandwidth. I only had enough bandwidth for real estate. It is such a hard industry for me to have mastered that whenever I took bandwidth away from it, it would start going down. It requires your full engagement. That's how hard it is. Some things you do in life, I'm sure stocks is like this too. Hedge funds, this and that. It might be like douchebag people and douchebag values, but I respect the hustle. Like some of this stuff, you have to stay engaged. If you miss something, you miss. Like if I miss the qualification, I have, 1 to 3% ratio. If I pick wrong, I'm fucked. So I could double my money that month just by making a couple good judgment calls. Like if I make 5 qualification calls that day, and I do 5 market analyses, and this is to set up my week for the next 2 days, we'll say. I learned to always double book because my closing ratio is only fucking 30 to 50%. At best, I'm closing 50%. Sometimes you'll do like 5 in a row, but then the numbers always regress to the norm. That's one thing. I tracked everything. So from the very beginning, even when I didn't know what I was doing, I did my emails in a certain way where I tracked all my leads into different folders in my Gmail for different months. So when I started getting better and better with my metrics, I had all the data that I could start plugging into my system and figure out my percentages and shit. And so and then this is at the end of the month. That slow time, you don't just not think about real estate when you could always be doing something. So when you don't have clients, now you're working on the business. You're building better mousetraps. And I'm like, all right, where can I improve this? And I'm like, all right, fucking, if I could just qualify better. Because out of those 5 people, each market analysis eventually only took a half hour, but they were like taking an hour or more. So that's 5 hours of busy work. You do that after maybe like 7 or 8 after it's too late to call people. But that means you're working until maybe midnight. And then now in the morning, you have to wake up early. Whoever hasn't responded to you, you have to put them on the back burner. You have to start figuring out at every step of the way. This is any sales, when I did the East Bay Express, they always wanted us juggling our leads to prioritize who are the people we think we could be closing because it's shifting all the time. And so based on their feedback. And then I started to learn these engagements that I started to learn how to make engagements that when I do something, I set an expectation for the client to do something. And if they do that, then they start moving up in my system. And if they don't do that, then they start moving down. And then it's either I didn't set a clear expectation or people don't always really tell you no, you fall out of favor. People, just girls too, they just kind of move away from you or move closer to you. And once you start getting enough good clients, what a good client feels like and what they do. They respond promptly, text, email, whatever. This is a lot of like fucking women shit. Just because they're not messaging you doesn't mean that. Don't project your insecurity. You have to give them an objective time frame, and you have to know your industry. For brokering, it's like you can't miss a deadline. So like you cannot message me that night, but if we have a noon appointment the next day to meet and you haven't messaged me by 10 a.m., then I'm giving you an ultimatum. I'm saying, look, I'm not sure if I should keep this appointment. I have other clients. You learn tactful ways to firm up clients. And sometimes you were about to cut a client, but since you use that tactful way, why not use that move before you cut him? Sometimes there's actually an excuse. And those clients sometimes in their mind, on their side, they're shopping you and two other brokers. And they're still up in the air, much like relationships. That, okay, should I go with Shah? Should I go with... But because I kept professional the whole way, and the other fucking broker sweated them too much. I've had a couple clients like that. Be like, because then also for my own edification, once we develop the relationship and we know that we're going to close out, like once they're like, I really like your process. I trust you can get me the best apartment. And I'm going to stick with you. Now there's no more pressure. Now we're just, and that's why I'm like buying meals and we're just hanging out. We're talking about life. Crazy Shaz stories, all these stories that I talk about, fucking shit that I talk about with my clients. That's why I wanted to do this process, because I want to stop saying shit about my life. But like I apparently needed to process it verbally, so I'm doing it, recording it, so that way I could put it away and fucking not worry about losing stuff as I go on to do other stuff. But yeah, then I pick their brain, and that's like the processes. So all these little things that like I'm doing, that if I think back, these are very good skills to have as you grow a business, but you have to be into it or not. So like once I have them with me and we're closing out the business, I'm still picking their brain, but about other stuff, I'm like, did you, just by the way, just to help me with my business, did you talk to anyone else? Yeah, actually. And I was like, oh, what separated me from them? And just start figuring out where they actually decided. And some of them tell me like, well, actually, to be honest, I had some other people I was going to meet today, but just the way you interact with me was so professionally, and no one else gave me real addresses, and you put them in that map and the spreadsheets, and you had really good reviews, and just, I mean, when you communicate with me, it's articulate. You actually may have complete sentences. So a lot of times, and then I start to learn my competitive advantage, my value proposition is, and then that's how I develop my copy, because I have to wear all the hats, because I'm a sole proprietorship. Well, I had a corporation eventually, but I'm doing everything. So I start to learn like, okay, so that's how I got 500 RE, Intelligent Real Estate Solutions. We're the smartest at what we do. What we do is real estate, and what we do is solve problems in real estate. Or like, that's why I said the best to do it. That's what, so that's good. I'm talking about some of the shit that's in here. Anyways, we're going to view all those pictures in a minute. But yeah, I relate a lot of it to sales, the same with girls too. It's like if you want a high quality girl, you gotta edit that bullshit out of your life. That fucking Wolf of Wall Street fast talker will only get you so. And the bad thing about getting the girl with just pure swag is that the next guy with fucking pure swag is gonna get her from you. So if you want a quality person and you want a quality commitment, you gotta learn how to be a quality person yourself. Learn how to not sweat the small stuff, how to add value. What is your value proposition? Maybe this is a book or something. But fucking like yeah. Don't a lot of lessons. I would take one from the other. Every cute girl I met while I was doing real estate, I would just fucking put her in my phone as full service. It was an inside joke. I would show Shah or like some of my friends. I'd be like, yeah, some of these girls are getting the full service. And like, I didn't get time to date any of them. Cause like I had like literally like 50 to 100 full service in my phone. Because it took me a minute to get on Thompson, to get an actual apartment. I never brought anyone back to fucking Tribeca. I was working too hard. And then fucking Filet Mignon came out. And then when she left, I finally furnished the apartment. I had a good month that month. And then fucking, I was always just like, as soon as I got money, and then I went to Puerto Rico, met up with fucking British girl. I wanted to tell that story. I guess I have that story. That's not that long of a story. So fucking, I was trying to close out a deal. British girl was going down to Puerto Rico. My parents were going down. We were all going to meet down there. It was a big deal. And then the lawyer said he wanted to come too. And I was like, why not? We'll make it a big family affair. And then fucking my roommate lawyer from Jersey. And then fucking the girl from the deal, I stayed in New York. I missed my plane tickets, only $200-300 to try to close that 4,500 thing. So I was like, I didn't know when I was buying the next one. And British girl, she had I think 10 days. So I was starting to eat into her vacation. So it was like, I knew that the lawyer kid was going down there. So I was like, keep her company. I'll be down there in 3 or 4 days. So I delayed it 3 or 4 days. And I sent my roommate to be wingman for the girl. He was a bit of a douchebag. And so fucking my friend down there, she's telling me, yo, your friend is making your British friend, like your lawyer friend's a douchebag. She's telling me that he's hitting on her, he's hitting on the fucking British girl. When I got down, well, yeah, I got down there eventually, and the British girl told me he was, like, I came back, like, I don't think I fucking whooped anyone's ass retributively. Like, I'm like purely defensive dude, but like, he's like the one dude that, like, I sat down with him at a bar and I'm like, you know, I should whoop your ass, right? Like, I was just like he never fucking said anything, but like I gave him as many, like that dude did with me in the bars. Like, sometimes you don't want to, like, you want to fight, but you don't want to start the, I mean, yeah, you don't want to start the fight, but like, I'm giving you as many chances of like fucking setting me off as possible. So like, we were sitting at a bar after all that was done, and I was like, looking at him, I was like, you know, I should whoop your ass, right? Just looking at him, just like, give me a reason, dude. And he's just like, just so fucking nervous that like he can't. One of the Gracies was like that in New York. I went to a BJJ school for a little bit, and he was like, the bouncer disrespected him and his crew. They went back. They were just like fucking like, what are we talking about? Where are we at? And when the bouncer, he got the bouncer down, and the bouncer was like, basically like, don't hit me. He was like, I'm not gonna fight a guy who covers up. I'm not a bully. I thought he was fucking challenging me, so I gave him what I thought he wanted. Apparently that's not what he wanted. But like, so this kid, but how did Shaz get there? Shaz, who is so peaceful, like, who fucking, like, I've been hit before and fucking immediately forgiven the person because I knew that my friend might put him up to it, and I knew this kid was an idiot. I was like, y'all are stupid. That's like a prank. Like, some men prank is getting your fucking friends physically assaulted. But yeah, but like, this kid was like, nah, dude, like, I really feel like you deserve something for what you did. But what he did was, the whole time I wasn't there, he's fucking heavily hitting on the British girl, and I'm in New York trying to close business. I learned from that too. You got to learn how to turn it off. You can't. I stay there just for a little bit more money. It becomes addictive, and that's one of the reasons why me and British girls started. And then we tried to do another vacation like that, and I didn't really act right on that one too. But on this one, my friend from Puerto Rico was like, I was thinking about even not going. I was like, fuck it. It's like, that's what it is. The values of business was like, that's me and British girl. I mean, that's why it was really hard to start a relationship when my values are being torn in so many different ways. It's like, money was everything at that point. And I'm sure plenty of people who've been on the grind can agree. You neglect love and relationships in your life. And out of all the people I've connected with, she's like top one. She's up there, like, out of what, maybe a couple dozen people. She's like, I don't know. It's not good to compare people, but like, I haven't met someone that we had, like, it was just, I don't know. I bumbled that one, and I might not have kept moving on for a minute if I hadn't bumbled that one. But that was a part of it. I was just like, there was a back burner to the business. But then my friend was like, you need to come down, because I was just like, oh, fuck it. What do we have? We're not really going to date. She's in Britain. And her dad was actually telling her, why don't you just marry David so you guys could date? Her family was down with it. Just marry him, get the papers, and then go to New York and see what happens. We won't take offense. What if all these lives that we could have lived? But yeah, so my friend in Puerto Rico was like, you gotta get down there. Here, your fucking friend's creeping her out. And then he tried to creep on my friend's bed too. And my friend hit him with this line. He was like, oh, my back is sore. Can I get in your bed? And my friend was like, yeah, no. You're my friend's friend, and I'm opening my house to you. You can get my bed. But know that these elbows break ribs, okay? That's all she hit him with that line. And he was like, he slept on the couch. She said, these elbows break ribs, so don't touch me, or some shit. They don't play. You can't survive in places like that without knowing how to draw your boundaries. It's like, you're not gonna. Anyways, so yeah, he was fucking. What type of dude does that? I was like, go down there and take care of my girl until I get down there. And the whole time he's like, why don't you get with me? I'm a lawyer, don't you know that? Why are you with this guy? And everyone told me everything. I was like, you're my roommate. What the fuck are you? What type of life are you living? So that's one of the reasons I moved out of there too. I couldn't live with that dude anymore. And so I quickly moved out of there. I forgot where I moved next. I'll think about it. But we finished the Tribeca thing. I had to speak my piece on that. Couldn't even be that kid's friend. I tried to reconnect a year or two later, and it was just like, it's like the anarchist kid. I don't want to tell these stories over and over again, but certain things I'm just like, I'm done. I can't. I don't have to be retributive. I don't have to be violent. Because I'm not that insecure. But like, sometimes you're like, you really fucking deserve it though, dude, and just give me one excuse. Like, I don't. It's almost disrespectful to my friend, but like, she's not violent either. Like, what What a fucking douchebag. I just pity him. Not what